reason it didn't start, and then I didn't think that it was initiated. Anyhow, I'll keep an eye on the chat down here. Give me a few moments before I start opening this, but as you can see, a new, very large box came from Mattel today. I don't know what's inside of it. We'd already done an unboxing for a different Mattel Primal Attack set, so I'm pretty excited to see what's in this. This thing came in an even larger shipping box with like styrofoam on either side to like keep it secure, so it's definitely larger. So anyways, how's everyone doing today before I start opening this and just let people pile in? How's everyone doing? Good? Good. It's good to hear. I know the quarantine and lockdown that various people are experiencing is probably a little trying at times, but hopefully some good Jurassic content will make it go a little easier. All right. It's snowing there. Where are you? That's snowing. I don't know. I don't even know what the weather is today. It looks dreary and overcast. Right. So, anyways, first things first. Inside of the box, inside of the shipping box, there was this envelope. So let's see what's inside of this. Oh, cool. All right. Okay, so there's a poster on this side. That's pretty cool. A little Primal Attack poster. And then a checklist on this side. Sorry, it's very hard to get this in the camera. So you have the new T-Rex down here, Carnotaurus, the massive biters over here, Tac Pack, Savage Strike, and then the Sound Strike. This looks like it's all the initial first half of the toy line wave. So it does include things like Postosuchus, which I'd really like to get my hands on. And again, here is the other side of the poster. This is pretty cool. Mattel hasn't really sent out anything like this before in physical form, so that's a lot of fun. That feels very retro, very throwback. So that's cool. I don't know where to put this right now, so I'm going to set it next to me. Okay, I'm just going to get to opening this. So it looks like right here, there's like a handle, and it's sealed. So I'm going to try to open it. There. Oh, okay, Velcro. I wasn't sure. So these like gates. Okay, I'm gonna have to flip it around and see what I have in here. Oh, interesting. That's fun. Okay, it looks like it got a little dislodged during shipping, unfortunately. But I think I can probably fix this up real quick. Oh, it definitely got dislodged during shipping. Yeah, that would go there. That one, unfortunately, can't be fixed. That one can. I'm having trouble figuring out where this thing would go. Well, we will, I guess, deal with it as it is. Okay, so I gotta pull it out like so. In theory, pull it out like so. Okay, so if you could tell, it came in like a prefabricated diorama set. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of these have been like launched off their pedestals during shipping. So let me just try to get this out, because it says to pull, but I feel like pulling is not working, let me just tell you. Good lord. Yeah, okay. This is not working. Did they super glue it in? What is going on? Everything else got dislodged. The one thing that's supposed to come out isn't actually coming out. Okay. Can I get it from the back, maybe? Like push it out? I really don't know what to do with this. Any thoughts? Well, I'm out of focus. I'm trying to see what the artwork is inside. It looks like it's the end of Fallen Kingdom in the tunnels when all the dinosaurs ran out of Lockwood's manor. So it's like almost like a Mattel version of the Stampede scene. And it would be a lot easier to show you if this actually came out of the box, which it doesn't. It goes back in, easily enough. I don't know what to do. This is not working for a live stream very well. Yeah, no, I'm pulling. I feel like this thing's going to rip. Given I don't have like a lot of leverage here because I'm like backed in the one corner of my house. Yeah, it's just tearing at this point. Oh wait. I think we're finally getting some... It's finally working. There we go. Sure, I don't knock over my tripod. Okay. Oh, that's fun. Look, there's like a little fold-out, like, broken car here. I just wish I knew. So the Pteranodon looks like it latched on to... I mean, the Tapahara looks like it latched on over here. And unfortunately, it snapped off. Shipping in my area is horrible, actually, to talk about that. I had got a thing from Lego and Universal for the Lego series, and what it was is, from reading about it online, I guess it was like a chocolate volcano that it was like, and it came with a hammer, and inside of the chocolate volcano was a bunch of Lego pieces from the Jurassic World sets. However, I only found that out by reading what it was supposed to be, because what I got was a box full of confetti and broken pieces of chocolate and Lego pieces just scattered everywhere. So I was never able to do a video because literally I just got a mess. A giant box, like 3 times larger than this. I got a mess in the mail. And yeah, no, the shipping in my area is absolutely atrocious. Everything comes busted. So unfortunately, I also just don't have enough room for this thing. Look at it. Oh, shoot. So unfortunately, this didn't quite show up the way it was supposed to, but I think we're supposed to have the Carnotaurus there. I don't know what's with these loops. It almost just looks like there should have been something else, unless maybe that's where these guys go. And this goes. Something like that. But yeah, no, it's a pretty cool little diorama set that it came with. And it's Lockwood Manor themed, I think. Looks like you have the tunnel here that they ran out of. And then the Lockwood Woods. Some shipping crates. So you have the massive biter Sarcosuchus, the Primal attack, Control and Conquer Carnotaurus. It's electronic. You have the Sound Strike Pteranodon up here, which is pretty cool. Savage Strike Sarpelta, Savage Tac Pack. Man, I am all over the board right now with my dinosaurs. Attack Pack Draco Rex. Yeah, of course, the Savage Strike Tapahara. And that looks like the Savage Strike Blue, and then the Sound Strike Triceratops. But I think the coolest thing about this is this giant, absolutely massive diorama cardboard cutout type of set. It's really, really cool art. It was a pain in the ass to get out of the box. But no, it's absolutely a really, really cool set. Too big for me to keep displayed like this. I'll have to think about what to do with it. I don't want it to go to waste. But yeah, look, I think it's massive. All right, here, let me read the comments real quick. Turn it upside down and shake it. Yeah, that would have went bad. Well, I've done videos on literally all of these items inside this box before. However, for people that are just tuning in now, do you have any questions about the toys that you see on display from the new Primal pack assortment, or any questions in general? So the display case is basically the shipping box that this care package came in. It's nothing that I bought. It's Mattel sent this to us to unbox on camera, that we can show off some of the new items. And it is a really, really cool box. Like I said, unfortunately, my shipping in my area isn't the best. So it got a little banged up and some of these got dislodged. And it was a little difficult to get out of the box, but that wasn't the problem. The problem was just the shipping itself. It's really cool. It reminds me of like at toy stores when they have like the glass display case with a few items in it, and they're all kind of displayed in a bit of a diorama. I could totally imagine something like this inside of a display case at like, I don't know, there's not like, I would say Toys R Us, but that's sort of rest in peace. Oh, the display case to my left, that's from IKEA. And it's nice, simple, plain wood, glass trays. I have a bunch of dinosaur toys on it right now. And yeah, no, it was a good buy. It even has a light on it on the top, so you can illuminate it. I don't know, it worked really well. I have another one that's all black with like kind of black steel struts and then glass shelving units. I like that one more. It's more minimalistic and kind of works to offset the jarringness of having a bunch of toys on display. You know, trying to keep it a little aesthetically pleasing. Hold on. How are they in quality? I like them. I don't like them as much as like the 2018 toy line for a few reasons. I've talked about it before, but the heads are larger, the tails are shorter now, so they don't look as, I guess, film realistic. So you kind of end up with like a little bit more of a cartoony quality on some of the items, unfortunately. And things like, I like the Sarcosuchus a lot, but its sculpting's a little bit more cartoony, especially in the face. And that's just, I don't have a major issue with some items doing that. My one problem is a lot of the toys have been sacrificing proportions to a point where they no longer really feel like they're part of the Jurassic World films. So that's a bit frustrating. And also a lot of the toys, this isn't the best example, but like a lot of them, now, I don't have any of them next to me, but the new Sound Strike, I don't like it as much as Roarvors because the electronics go off accidentally a lot. So like if you just pick them up and move them a bit for the Sound Strike, which is this Triceratops, which of course it's not happening, but like it happens a lot with the Edmontosaurus and the Cryolophosaurus, their electronics just constantly go off. And I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think Roarvors handled it better, if that makes sense. And I don't think the trade-off is necessarily worth it, especially, again, because Roarvors, they packaged the tail separately, so you had a longer, more proportionate body that you would just attach to the tail. Sound Strike, they packaged it all in the packaging pre-assembled, so what's happening is you're ending up with these animals with these short tails and these bigger heads, and I feel like they sort of lost sort of the stride that they launched with in 2018. They're not bad, but they're more gimmicky, and they don't have that sense of realism, I guess, for lack of better words, which is sort of a silly thing saying talking about toys, but they don't have that sense of realism. Are they worth it? Yeah, no, they're worth it. If you like the dinosaurs, if you want a cool Carnotaurus toy that you can use for electronics, the Control and Conquer is good. If you want one that's more film accurate, then I recommend the one that came out in 2018. The I forget what it was called. Action Attack Carnotaurus. It's a little smaller than this one, but overall the sculpt is better. This one's paint job's more accurate to the films, but the other one's sculpt and proportions just look better for the dinosaur. This one's more cartoonized, for lack of better words. But yeah, no, even like the things like the Pteranodon. I'll pump this out. So you can see it has sounds when you flap its wings. And then there's another button for other sounds, which makes its mouth open. I don't know if its mouth is supposed to stay open or if this one's this one's just a little janky, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I like them. This one, again, because they've already done Jurassic World paint jobs, this one has a unique paint job, which is fine. It's not based off of the films, but the sculpt itself is. So, yeah, I like them. I think that for collectors that want to add them to their collection, I think they're definitely, great items to have. Like the little Sarpelta has a really interesting feature where you can like shake its tail and its body sort of attacks. And it's got a lot of articulation, which is really cool. And some nice little colors. Now, obviously, these are all from the first part of the toy line, which actually started shipping late last year. So for most of you, you've probably seen these items already. You might even have them already. Postosuchus and the Pachycephalosaurus from the Savage Strike has been spotted, I want to say like New Zealand and Canada. Now, shipping is all out of order due to COVID-19, so don't expect it to hit stores anytime soon, but they have hit some stores that those countries tend to get some of those second wave items sooner. And then, of course, there's also new battle damage items that are part of the Primal Attack series that are Walmart exclusive. The thing is I wouldn't count on Walmart getting them because Walmart basically has dropped Jurassic. In the U.S., Walmart exclusive in the U.S., they basically aren't carrying Jurassic. In fact, they didn't even get the last waves of the battle damage assortment at Walmart stores in the United States. If you want things like the what was it? Proceratosaurus and a Herrerasaurus or whatnot, you have to buy it from Canada or somewhere else. So there are other items that haven't hit the U.S., but I don't know what's going to happen now. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of future items end up getting canceled or delayed massively to fall. Same goes for the Camp Cretaceous toys, which just showed off at Toy Fair, but we don't know when Camp Cretaceous is coming anymore, if it's going to be delayed. And even if it's not delayed, that doesn't mean the toys can hit because factories have been shut down, shipping routes have been shut down. The whole thing has kind of become very complicated, obviously, and we are left with a lot of questions about how things will ship and what the delays will be like. And ultimately, the best thing we can do is just play it by ear, and see how these items begin shipping out. And let me read some of these comments and then I'll answer some more questions. Maybe Primal Attack is a sneak peek to Camp Cretaceous. No, Camp Cretaceous line has it has its own dinosaurs and its own toy line. So they showed some of them off at Toy Fair. So there's like Bumpy, the baby Ankylosaurus, Toro the Carnotaurus, which is literally this same item in a different paint job with like a painted scar on its face. There are definitely some interesting ones there. Let me see. Sorry, I am scrolling up. Tarbosaurus. Tarbosaurus wasn't in the set, but it is part of the Primal Attack assortment. I actually have one somewhere. The catalog is really cool. I really hope Mattel is Yeah, I agree. I hope Dominion's line is more like the 2018 line as well, putting a higher focus on the quality of the items rather than necessarily the gimmicks. I think that the gimmicks are absolutely needed. I don't think they're a bad thing inherently. Um, the toys, they need to be fun for kids to play with. Like that's just the truth of the matter. You want cool electronic sounds, you want cool biting features and everything like that. Um, but you don't want to sacrifice the look of the dinosaur in the process. I know that I always disliked growing up the toys that basically the look of the dinosaurs was compromised by the play feature itself. And but I think that the Jurassic World Dominion line will have a one up again because Mattel's gonna be able to work directly from the Industrial Light and Magic files. And I think one of the things that kind of caused things to take a shift a little bit is because there weren't necessarily fresh movie files to build off of and to compare against. So the larger heads began to take a life of their own. The smaller tails became less of an issue because it wasn't about making a film accurate dinosaur toy. So I'm hoping again when the new movie comes out and they have all the new assets to build from, that it kind of recalibrates the toy line a little bit. Also, I would like to see human figures again. And I'd like to see vehicles and all of that. I think Hasbro did a better job at figuring out a way to keep human figures relevant. With their 2013 toy line, they packaged the humans in, like the humans would be packed with a dinosaur like this or like this. And it wasn't sold as a human, it was sold as a dinosaur that included a human. And because retailers get scared, they look at dinosaur toys and they look at humans and they go, well, the humans are selling, but the dinosaur toys sell 10 times more than the humans. Why would we dedicate shelf space to the human toy when that could just be more dinosaur toys? It's not that the human toys didn't sell, it's that the dinosaur toys sold so much more than the human toys that retailers began to not want to dedicate shelf space to it. So then the question is, how do you work with that? Well, during a movie year, retailers are going to be more willing to commit more shelf space, so there's a little bit more wiggle room. But on top of that, you don't sell them as human SKUs. You sell them as dinosaur SKUs that include humans, and maybe get a little more variety and not have 20 different Owen Grady's. Uh, but well, no, the human toys do sell. That's the thing is they're not clogging up shelves. When they would come in, they would sell through pretty consistently. It's not that they didn't sell; it's that they didn't sell like the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs just outclassed them. So again, it just made, and from a retailer's perspective, it made sense just to drop the humans because if they put a dinosaur in the space that the human was, they're going to sell more. Not that the humans weren't selling; the humans were selling pretty well compared to other toy lines. It's just compared to Jurassic, their own internal sales for Jurassic toys, the dinosaurs just push 10 times more. So it does unfortunately make sense from a retailer's perspective. So it's sort of up to Mattel to figure out how to mitigate that and keep humans part of the line and kind of keep that golden triangle of human dinosaurs vehicles or human dinosaurs play sets. Because otherwise it loses the play pattern. And the concept of scale is sort of thrown away because what's the point of having a big T-Rex toy if it can't tower over a human toy anyhow? Or a thrash and throw T-Rex that doesn't have a human to thrash and throw. It offers more play patterns for kids. It offers more collectability for adults of all ages and collectors of all ages. You don't have John Hammond. Yeah, I would love if they did another re-release, but my only thing is when it comes to re-releasing collectible figures, I don't want them to release it exactly as is. So like if they re-released a new Hammond, don't have it come with like the Raptor pedestal. Maybe just make it Hammond and his cane or something along those lines, and in new packaging. That way, the original release still retains some of its unique sense of collectability, while everybody who wants a Hammond figure can still get a Hammond figure. I think that there's always a careful balance between the two of them. Things like even like the Mosasaurus, they're re-releasing it now, and I would have preferred they gave it a slightly fresh paint job rather than just re-releasing it exactly as is. Because that also this offers more line variety, but it's not really that big of a deal either way. The Indominus Rex is a great item. I have it next to me, but you can't see it. I love the Indominus Rex. They did a really good job with it. And yeah, that does suffer from the big head and shorter tail syndrome, but it doesn't necessarily look as odd on the Indominus Rex, and I don't know why. And I think it's maybe because the Indominus Rex has always had this slightly more like imposing monster-esque like appearance. As compared to a lot of the other dinosaurs, which are real dinosaurs. So when they start to deviate from what looks like the anatomy of a real animal, it kind of shows more. Um, yeah, the Comic Con Hammond is again. I have it. I like it. The packaging is really nice as well. So if you can get it, I would say go for it because I don't know if they're ever going to re-release Hammond again. I wouldn't mind if they did, like I said, just so more people could get a hold of it. But yeah, I don't really know. Um, well, while I've got people here, you have the new Primal Attack diorama set again. It got a little bang. This came in from Mattel. It got a little banged up in shipping, unfortunately. But while I have people here, do you have any thoughts that you want to see from Mattel in the future? Things that you really don't think they've done, or things that you want to see them do differently, or things that you love? I don't know. Oh, well, yeah, at Target, the human figures aren't going to sell anymore because if they're still getting human figures, they're not making new sculpts, new designs, and they're not really being competitive with them. So the Targets that still have human figures, it's not surprising they're not selling anymore because there's not a movie right now, and they're not injecting any variety or diversity to the human figures. If they wanted to sell human figures, they had to find a way to make them compelling, and I don't think they've really done that. For an example, rather than re-releasing the same Owen Grady figure in different packaging, if they want to release a new Owen, don't base it off. Well, you can base it off of the first Jurassic World because they haven't released that yet, or you can base it off of just create something fictional, create Dino Tracker Owen Grady, and create a narrative for it based just a fictional narrative, not necessarily based to the canon, but give him a new cool outfit, give him a hat, give him body armor, make him look like a SWAT team member, make it when he was in the Navy, but inject a new play feature with it, and that goes with all the characters. Put Claire in some crazy outfit and launch her with like a baby Nasutoceratops. And that's the other thing is for the human figures, rather than launching them with miniature dinosaurs, launch them with baby dinosaurs. So then if you own a Carnotaurus, you're compelled to buy the human figure that includes the baby Carnotaurus, and then that just offers more play patterns for kids. You can have people people stealing the baby dinosaurs and the good guys reunited in the baby dinosaurs with the family of the dinosaurs or whatnot. It offers more play pattern and offers more variety rather than just a miniature dinosaur. The idea of scale throughout the line being consistent, then pack them with baby dinosaurs, and that gives you a reason to then have these animals and build family units and everything like that. Which is what Kenner used to do. It's not some bold, crazy new idea of mine. It's obviously what was done in the past. Um, Full play sets, yeah, I would like to see play sets as well. Um, I wouldn't count on it though. I wouldn't count on any big play sets because play sets are a lot of money and they take up a lot of shelf space, and those are two things um, that are just risky. And going into the future, uh, post pandemic, uh, I wouldn't count on play sets. Even if they were considering them before, I wouldn't count on them now. I'll be honest with you. It's just things are so. But I do think that they could find ways to inject playability to the toys. Human figures again with baby dinosaurs, capture gear, dinosaurs with capture gear. So you can have gear that fits onto the Carnotaurus. So rather than shaking it like this, it can break out of its capture gear. You can have human characters captured and subdue it, or the bad guys capture it, and you can have a lot of different play patterns that go along with it, whether or not you want to make the dinosaurs the villains or the dinosaurs the danger. or the dinosaurs the victims of the bad guys. And I think you can play along, and that offers a lot of role-playing play patterns for kids, as well as just collectability for collectors of all ages. And again, that is the one thing, is even though most people watching these videos are watching it from a collector's viewpoint, you do have to realize that these toys are primarily aimed at kids. So there's nothing wrong with it having play features and having these features that are going for kids. In fact, those play features tend to inform what people want from collectability. So it's not a bad thing. You do want these toys to appeal to kids. If they're not making these toys for kids anymore, then that's depressing. So there's nothing wrong with they really do need to focus on the play patterns and find cool new ways to put play patterns in for kids. Absolutely. Kids of all ages, I guess. More Amber collection. Well, they have announced that Nedry and the Dilophosaurus are coming. They haven't shown them off yet. I'll be looking forward to them, but it's no secret I don't like the Amber collection Jurassic Park Velociraptor. That's because it's sculpt. Well, it's because of a lot of things. The paint job isn't great, especially for a $30 item. It's not great. The feet are gigantic. And it's also not a Jurassic Park Velociraptor. It's blue, but they just painted blue as a Jurassic Park Raptor. And it just, I don't know. It definitely doesn't have the premium collector $30 item feel to it. Now, that said, the Amber Collection blue, I actually like. Do I think it could be better? Yes. But I actually like it. For one, it really helps that it's actually blue sculpt. The paint job's actually complex. And it doesn't give you that, it doesn't look as jarring. The features that necessarily, like the large feet and everything like that, with the more complex paint job, they don't stand out as much. And the more complex paint job just makes it more of a premium feeling item. But yeah, no, I'm not a huge fan of the Amber Collection so far. I don't think it lives up to its potential, its price point, or sort of the legacy that precedes it. There's a lot of other companies out there that are doing collector's figures, like Star Wars The Black Series, or NECA, or David Silva's Beast in the Mesozoic. And again, this Beast in the Mesozoic Pyro Raptor I bought for the same price as the Amber Collection Velociraptor. And this one has a ton more articulation. It's beautifully detailed and sculpted, ton of detail. And the paint job is very, very complex. And it just kind of shows you what you could be doing at this price point, especially because you consider this was not produced as much as this. You know, the Beast of the Mesozoic line is a much smaller company. So in theory, its price point should be higher because they're not able to mass produce and offset the cost. So again, I'm not very impressed. There's a lot of collectors lines out there doing what Amber Collection sought to do, but doing it at a more competitive price and doing it with far better accuracy and detail for the price value. That said, there's no reason why future Amber Collection items aren't going to up the ante a bit, because while I don't like the initial Velociraptor, I think blue was a very obvious upgrade. So if it continues along that trajectory, I'm all for the Amber Collection. But right now, I'd rather their focus be kind of placed on recalibrating the core line and Jurassic World Dominion. Given Jurassic World Dominion probably will be delayed now, so they've got plenty of time to play around. Okay, hold on. The Super Colossal Dilophosaurus. Yeah, the logo for Dominion is like the 1993 logo so far. Yeah, they Colin Trevorrow revealed that on his Instagram and Twitter and everything, and it's on Amblin's website and all of that. Now, it might change, but for right now, it's more classic, which is a lot of fun. Is there an Amber Collection Indominus Rex? No, that thing would be, well, probably close to the size of the Super Colossal T-Rex. And at that point, why not just do a Super Colossal Indominus Rex, which they're doing? Maybe they could do a different one that has better proportions, because the Super Colossal having the larger head, shorter tail, I suppose, it wouldn't live up to Amber Collection, the ideology behind Amber Collection, but yeah, no, I'd rather than focusing on the Amber Collection, I'd rather them just focusing on reinvigorating the core collection with a like appealing collectability in terms of just accuracy. If they can just get the accuracy and detail pumped back into these types of toys again, they don't really need the Amber Collection. I'm not saying the Amber Collection shouldn't exist. I'm just saying there's no reason why that level of detail to accuracy can't also be into the core line. Obviously, there's a certain amount of paint that could go into each item and a certain amount of articulation. Cost offsets obviously exist, so I'm not saying put as much detail, but in terms of the sculpting and the accuracy, there's no reason why there just can't be smaller accurate items, and we've already seen it in the past with Mattel and with Hasbro and with Kenner. So, should you get a Super Colossal Blue or the Amber Collection Blue? I don't know. I don't have the Super Colossal Blue. I have the Amber Collection Blue. If you have room for the Super Colossal Blue, it's probably going to be more attention grabbing. However, the Amber Collection Blue has a far more complex paint job. But having a big Super Colossal Velociraptor item that's like this big seems kind of fun. So I don't see why not go for that. More humans, more cars. Yeah, I agree. Amber Collection Pteranodon from JP3 would be great. Yeah, that'd be fun. But I think also just the core line, if they did a JP3 Pteranodon, they sort of have in the Legacy Collection, but they really haven't. The sculpt wasn't it, but also the paint. They never did the paint job. I don't know. I really don't know what happened there. So there's still room for a JP3 Pteranodon. But it would have a tough. Not the Jurassic Park 3 toys that they did way back when. That Pteranodon was actually pretty good, one of the few good ones. So that Mattel has a tough bar to beat there. Bring back Chaos Effect. I don't know. Let's focus on getting. My issue is things like the Cryolophosaurus already look like they're from Chaos Effect, just with more detail. So my concept is focus on sculpting the regular dinosaurs, get the refinement to make them look like real Jurassic Park and Jurassic World dinosaurs and fit in with that art style before doing hybrids, because right now some of the non-hybrid items are feeling more hybridized just in terms of their art style. I'm not sure if Chaos Effect would have the appeal today that it had in the past. It might, but the art style itself might not. I don't know. Do you see them doing hybrids in the main toy line? I don't see why not. I think that there's plenty of real dinosaurs for them to focus on though right now. But I don't have I don't have issues with like the Jurassic World video games doing hybrid dinosaurs in the games. Like I think that's fun, and I don't see why Mattel shouldn't or couldn't do hybrid dinosaurs in their toy line. I think that I'd rather them focus on real dinosaurs, but occasionally introducing a hybrid could be a lot of fun, especially if that hybrid pulled from two unique Mattel designs. So if you've noticed colors and designs influencing the new hybrid, I think that would be fun. But again, I don't think that they should go down that road until they start actually sculpting their dinosaurs properly. Shrinking the heads, elongating the tails, and actually figuring out the anatomy and making them sort of more accurate. They're allowed to have a lot. They can play. I'm not saying it needs to be entirely scientifically accurate, just to be clear. Just the Cryolophosaurus doesn't look like a Cryolophosaurus, and that's just one of many. So they seem to kind of focus on refining the look of the primary toys and what makes a dinosaur, and then a hybrid. Because right now there's a weird crossing over the lines for the non-film animals, and I think they need to work on realigning that to make it more true to honoring Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. But then do hybrids. That's fun. I don't see why not. Do some crazy weird hybrids. Yeah, Camp Cretaceous should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to learn more. We'll have to see. What old Kenner figures do you have? Oh man, I've got a lot, but they're all in storage for the most part. But most of them are stored away somewhere. But yeah, I've got quite a few. I mean, I have the Casosaurus over there, and I've got a few others around, and I've pulled a few out here and there for like past videos and reviews and comparisons. And yeah, I think the old Kenner toys are a lot of fun. And that's the thing. It's kind of funny when I talk about cartoonizing the sculpts. It's not like Kenner wasn't guilty of it as well. Kenner has their off sculpts. Kenner's original Demon Carnotaurus. That thing is goofy looking. I mean, I love it for, I guess, nostalgia purposes, but if that came out today, we would all. And it's not a very good sculpt. I mean, it's really cool colors, but it is goofy. It's got these big old buck teeth, these tiny, like, three-fingered. I mean, it's a goofy looking item. So again, yeah, Kenner's even guilty of that. But overall, Kenner's line felt more naturalistic with a few oddballs here and there, where Mattel's line I felt has shifted to being slightly more anthropomorphized and slightly more stylized and cartoonized as they've gotten away from the films. And I'm just hoping to see it realign because it doesn't look bad. It just doesn't feel like Jurassic World and Jurassic Park dinosaurs anymore. Any news on Legacy Collection? Apparently there's more Legacy Collection coming later this year. I don't know what, but yeah, apparently there is more Legacy Collection coming later this year. Hopefully with Target stores recently amping up their Jurassic World sections, that would mean that they would get all the items, because last year there were Legacy Collection, these story pack items of, it was Grant and a JP3 female raptor, Malcolm and a Lost World male raptor, and then who the hell came with and Muldoon and a Jurassic Park female raptor. And it was not okay. So there were story packs, human and a raptor, but they weren't very well done. But anyhow, Target didn't carry them, so it is what it is. They basically went to I think they sold to Chile, and they didn't get a lot of wide distribution. You had to pay a lot of money to get them if you wanted them, and didn't really miss out on much anyhow. But nonetheless, would have been nice if just Target would have carried them in the first place. So hopefully Target gets everything that's coming from the Legacy Collection later this year. And I hope that the Legacy Collection, the whole idea is it's a little geared towards nostalgia and fans of the classic films, and in theory, it's a little bit more geared towards collectors. So I hope they do a better job paying attention to detail, because the Legacy items haven't been that great. The sculpts haven't been very true to Jurassic Park. The paint jobs haven't been very true to Jurassic Park. When you compare it to all the Fallen Kingdom toys, which ended up looking a ton like their respective dinosaurs, and they're really, really good looking, the Legacy Collection just felt like it didn't hit the mark that it should have. And I can tell you why. It's because modern Industrial Light and Magic renders do not exist for the classic Jurassic Park dinosaurs. So they have to kind of watch the films and sculpt it themselves, and there's not good style guides for the coloration of the classic dinosaurs. So again, sometimes the style guides are incorrect, like the Lost World Pteranodon. In the Universal Style Guide for the series right now, the Lost World Pteranodon isn't the right Pteranodon. It's the one with the flat crest, the Geosternbergia. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mattel ends up doing a Lost World Pteranodon. They just sculpt the wrong animal entirely. The one that's not in film, but the one that was designed during pre-production that eventually changed to a different species in the final film. So I guess what I want to see from Legacy Collection is just better attention to detail. But I definitely do want more Legacy Collection. Okay. Anyhow, I think this is running its course. Again, huge thank you to Mattel for sending this out. This is one of the coolest diorama sets I have seen. I'm going to figure out a way to display this thing. I'm a bit bummed it got a little banged up during shipping, but that's, sort of the nature of the game. And let me just set this here and like so. But there was Velcro. I wonder if that was what was holding why it wasn't coming. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I can't figure out why I couldn't get that out earlier. But this is a really cool thing. I'm glad Mattel sent it along. I'm a huge fan of the Sarcosuchus. Sarapelta's great. Actually, this Triceratops is a lot of fun. So I'm a pretty big fan of a lot of the new Primal Attack items, despite having my worries about the style shifting of the toy line itself. I'm a pretty big fan of what they're doing overall. So again, these are in stores now. Obviously, you should stay home. Do not go out to go toy shopping. If you're going to do toy shopping, do it online, or otherwise it can wait. Because right now, the world needs less sick people. Stay inside, and hopefully we'll get through this sooner rather than later. But nothing wrong with ordering some toys if you'd like. obviously. You probably have more downtime than you ever had before, and more time to play around with toys. Maybe do some custom paint jobs, which would be a lot of fun. Diorama shots, reviews. I would love to see some detailed reviews and hear what people think. You know, get down to the nitty gritty of the designs. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned to Jurassic Outpost for more exciting tangents, rants, rave. You know, whatever it is. Uh, Try not to get too worked up about a Jurassic Park T-Rex design. You know, people have opinions, and that's fine. Just don't get mad at them for having opinions.